All right, everybody, first time on the show, but I feel like I've known this guy already for years, familiar with his work, love his stuff online. Kurt Schlichter is with us now. He's an Army veteran, columnist at townhall.com, and also author of a new book, 21 Biggest Lies About Donald Trump and You, out now. Kurt, welcome to the Freedom Hut, my man.
Hey, man. Thanks for having me. It's about time.
So you're out in California. Let's start with this. California is the place that always gets left off the list when the Democrats are complaining about how bad COVID is right now in Florida and Texas. Somehow, particularly California is just always absent from the list. We know that Governor Newsom has scaled you guys back, so no indoor anything right now other than just shopping for food. How's it going out there? And are people freaked out, or does this seem like overkill even to the lib population?
I think I think a lot of people are done with this nonsense, Buck. You know, I'm just basically living my life. I'm a lawyer, so I'm an essential service, so I could be in my palatial corner office. But you know, the guys who really get hurt are the people just starting out, folks. You know, who work in food service, folks who work at movie theaters, that sort of thing. And it's a damn shame. And all the scared, freaked out, Chardonnay swilling housewives who have nothing to fill their empty lives with, but panic about structural racism and mildly infective and dangerous pathogens are going to town. And it doesn't hurt them because they've got plenty of dough, because their husbands can work from home. What it does is it hurts regular people who work for a living, and it's really obnoxious.
Is there any pushback? Are you seeing people finally start to say, first of all, are the beaches open out there? What's going on?
Yeah, well, look, I haven't seen the beaches closed. Gyms are supposed to be closed, but nobody's doing that. Restaurants are just building now out into the literally like in parking lots and streets, so that now you're outside. It's a joke. People.
I had dinner last night at my favorite French restaurant in New York, and they've had, and I know the owners. You know, I've known them for a while, and they've it's like you are eating, because they're not really sidewalk cafes. So what they're making people do in New York is just take your tables that were inside and just spread them out on the New York City sidewalk. I mean, and they're way spread out. And it's like people are walking past you as you're eating dinner. This is what we've been reduced to now.
Yeah, I mean, it's just silly. It's all theater, you know. The whole mask thing is all theater. Look, I'm not a guy.
Can you tell me why do you think masks are? Because I've been saying that too, and I get people that are saying, "Buck, why don't you like masks?" I'm like, it's political, guys. It doesn't help you.
I think there are sick people out there who need to protect themselves. Yes. And I'll happily protect them.
Sure.
And if your business wants me to wear a mask, I will either wear a mask because it's your business, or I won't go in. That's all reasonable. But let's not fool ourselves that, if you're in your Prius driving down Sunset Boulevard, you're with your gagged with some pie hole thong, that you're somehow protecting humanity from this pestilence. You're just not. So much of it is theater. It's much like the people who insist that you concede that some men menstruate. Everybody knows it's baloney. You're just supposed to say it to show solidarity, and I'm just not willing to do that.
Speaking of Kurt Schlichter here, he's got a new book out, 21 Biggest Lies About Donald Trump. So, Kurt, the campaign made quite a switch up today. They have this Brad Parscale has been moved into a different role from being the head of the Trump reelection campaign. They brought in this guy, Stepien. You have been vocal on this. Bring us into the campaign stuff, because people are worried, that myself included, that the campaign so far hasn't been getting it done.
Well, look, I kind of agree. I think that some change was needed. Fortunately, we've got Donald Trump, who famously does not hesitate to tell someone you're fired. I think in the last couple of weeks, the campaign has seen some real problems. There was a lot of pushback. I was one of the people pushing about the obnoxious texts we were all getting. Donald Trump is very disappointed in you for not matching 5 times a lot by midnight and all that garbage. And people were like, look, it's not 2002. We are not unsophisticated. Stop treating us like idiots. It was really, really making the base angry. And a lot of us pointed out, and it changed in about 24 hours. And then Mr. Parscale got moved back to an area where he was good. I mean, remember, the Peter principle is you do a great job at one thing, then you get moved up to a level where you are incompetent. Well, he wasn't getting it done. I'm an Army colonel. If you're not getting it done, I put in a guy who does. And that's what the president did. He put Parscale back to what he's good at. What we need to do, what the campaign needs to do is, I think, in many ways, work on some basics. There were complaints that in some states, you could get a lawn sign very easily, and the middle of Pennsylvania is covered with them. But in Florida, even a max donor would call up and not be able to get a lawn sign. Okay, that's the basic blocking and tackle of an organization. All right, that is basic stuff. And if you're not getting the basics done, you're not getting the hard stuff done. I'm an organization guy. I was a battalion commander, as a deputy brigade commander. I like seeing an organization work. And it isn't all glamorous, and it's not all tweeting. A lot of it is saying, hey, how many volunteers do we have in Dade County? Okay, that's not enough. How are we going to get more? And how are we going to get pizza to them so they can eat? And where are the phones going to get set up? A lot of it's, look, amateurs talk strategy, professionals look at logistics. That's what we need. We need somebody in there who does the hard, dirty work of logistics and makes stuff happen. And Stepion's got a track record of doing that. Parscale's back at doing what he's good at. And I think the president's got a great message. I have a town hall column on how he needs to get aspirational, how the negative attacks on Biden, while critical, are really a supporting effort. What we need is a main effort that shows people that we have a great future ahead if we keep the conservative policies that really set us up well for this crisis. Imagine this crisis, Buck, if we had been in the Obama doldrums.
Yeah. Would not be good. Kurt Schlichter, everybody. He's got a book out, 21 Biggest Lies About Donald Trump. So let's sell some books here, Kurt. What are some
Buy the book.
Of the biggest lies about Trump? And it always gets me upset when people say these lies, the very, very, probably the worst lies they ever tell. But go ahead. What are the biggest ones?
Oh, my gosh. Look, there's so many. I could have done the 21 Biggest Lies About Donald Trump and You, Part 2, Electric Boogaloo. But unfortunately, you're not allowed to say Boogaloo anymore. I'm not even sure what it means. But I went with the classics, including Trump is racist, which was a super big surprise to all his friends of all various ethnic groups and races, right up until the time he ran for president. Donald Trump is probably one of the top 50 most photographed and videotaped people in all of human history. I think that's probably fair to say. And in all that time, they never got him on tape talking like, say, Democrat icon Robert Byrd talks about minority. Never once. And there's like armies of interns in the NBC vaults going through every tape that's ever been made about Donald Trump, looking for one word, one insinuation, one epithet, and they haven't found it. Kind of tells you he's probably not racist. Just But facts and evidence don't really matter, and that's one of the themes of the 21 Biggest Lies About Donald Trump and You. Doesn't really matter. They know it's a lie, or maybe they're stupid and don't know it's a lie, or maybe they just think we're stupid. But you get to other ones. You'll like this because you were a 3-letter agency guy. Trump loves Putin. Now, and so do you guys. So do the rest of you conservatives. And all I'm thinking of is, I'm literally a veteran of the Cold War. I was literally in it. I know how to use an Army battalion to defeat a Russian motor rifle regiment. I've trained Ukrainian soldiers. I've actually served with Ukrainian soldiers while deployed. And, I find being told by a 24-year-old Vox guy who can't do a push-up that I'm not hard enough on the bear, I find that kind of disconcerting.
I know exactly who at Vox you're talking about, it's everybody at Vox. So
it's everyone.
It's amazing.
Especially the can't do a push-up part. I mean, look, it's nice that 35 years later they decided to get hard on the Reds. That's great. Welcome to the party. The party's long over. We've cleaned up, and now you're knocking on my door again, but that's okay. And of course, Joe Biden was a big fan of the nuclear freeze movement, which is KGB-sponsored disinformation and
Biden's been wrong on every foreign policy
activity.
issue of the last 40 years. He's almost amazing in his consistency in being wrong, which is
exactly.
fantastic.
He's the George Costanza of American foreign policy. You say, Joe, what's your gut tell you? He says X. They go, great. Let's do Y.
Yep. Kurt Schlichter, everybody, town hall columnist. Check out his book, 21 Biggest Lies About Donald Trump and You. Kurt, come back anytime, man. Thanks for hanging out with us.
Hey, thanks for hanging out with me. It's been fun.
Oh, I know we talked about the Green New Deal, climate change, all that insanity a little bit earlier in the show, but I meant to do this. I meant to introduce you to a producer. Mark, is this a real commercial?
I believe so, yeah.
A Burger King commercial about, I'm sitting here and I'm wondering, how is this possible? Burger King commercial about methane. Yeah, no, this is a real thing. There are now active campaigns from multinational corporations to deal with cow farts and burps. This is a real commercial. I thought this had to be some kind of a send up, some kind of a joke. Turns out, no, it is not. Play whatever this plays the clip from the methane. The anti-cow fart campaign is upon us. Play 16.
If my cow ain't farting, must be me.
And the formula is free and open source. So join in. Reducing methane. Got the cow kids singing for a better world. Got the cow kids singing for a better world.
This is real, folks. The anti-cow fart campaign. It's a thing now. Washington Post reports that cows produce excess methane as enzymes break down food in their digestive system. This methane gets released through burping and flatulence, and its environmental impact is significant. Cattle contribute 14.5% of the world's global greenhouse gas emissions, and methane warms the planet 86 times more than carbon dioxide over 10 to 20 years. According to the EPA, the livestock industry is directly responsible for approximately a quarter of climate change in the industrial age. Gassy cows, everybody. They're coming for your gassy cows. Look, this is not going to reduce it enough, though. They are going to try to take that steak or that burger out of your mouth. Just give it time. It's going to happen. They can't help themselves. They're that up in your business. They're that insistent on controlling every aspect of your life. They're going to want to control what you put in your mouth, what your dietary needs are. And I got to tell you, there was this huge push in the last few years to create all these burger-like substitutes. And I even was willing, I tried a couple. When I lived in D.C., I tried a few of them. They're not good. They're just not good. Producer Mark, you ever tried those things? Like
I haven't, no.
The very Beyond Meat or Better Than Burger or whatever they call these things.
My wife really liked the one from actually Burger King, but she doesn't eat red meat because it hurts her stomach.
Well, that's like me not eating gluten, which is horrible, but unfortunately I can't, right? I mean, I wish I could sit there and eat French bread and, brie and baguettes all day, but I would die. So, yeah, I mean, I get that. I mean, look, I guess they're not like inedible, but they're pretty bad. It's sort of like a veggie burger. A veggie burger is a fine accoutrement to my actual burger, as long as you put some like melted cheese on it and some mayo and things like, you know what I mean? Then the veggie burger is kind of acceptable.
So you use the veggie burger as a topping to an actual burger?
Yeah, pretty much. Like if you really want to eat a veggie burger, what you do is you put your meat burger and you make a veggie burger sandwich of your meat burger, you know? So the
Is that
meat's in
just
the
a
middle.
way to eat
then
less carbs? Like, I don't understand.
Veggie patty on top and on bottom. I'm just getting creative here. Just telling you what I'm up to. The kind of things that I do. I'm a man who likes to, experiment
Sounds
with
like
his.
that sandwich from KFC where it was the 2 pieces of fried chicken with bacon and cheese in the middle. Forgot what they called that, but
I remember when I worked at the NYPD, there was this Italian sandwich place, and this is when I used to eat gluten. I didn't know that, I couldn't. And they used to go to this Italian sandwich place out in Brooklyn, and guys would drive like 45 minutes. They'd come back with a sandwich, they'd get cardboard boxes full of these sandwiches with prosciutto and provolone and all that. And the sandwiches were incredible. A really good sandwich goes a long way. I will say. See, this is what happens. The show, I get hungry when we do this radio show. We start talking about food. I sort of think, I'm like, how many people are listening to this right now are cooking dinner or sitting down to dinner? Probably a fair amount. They're already eating. I still have to finish the show before I can eat. I want to order barbecue tonight. Now I really am thinking out loud about all this stuff. All right. Oh, there was one other thing I want to get to. This is kind of a mulligan round here of things that I was hoping to address on the show and hadn't had the time yet. Remember I told you yesterday, AOC had maybe the dumbest take possible, the dumbest take imaginable for why there has been a spike in crime in New York City. It was kind of hard to fathom that anybody could come up with this who's a person in public life, a public figure. But no, it happened. And here she is, here is Governor Cuomo, pardon me, responding to AOC's almost incomprehensibly stupid analysis of why there's a crime spike in New York City. Please play 14.
An incorrect, I don't know what she said, so I have no comment on what she said, but people have theories. An incorrect theory doesn't wind up being correct because there's a void. And I think we have been talking about what's going on. I don't think there is one answer, but I think you raised a good point last week. I think there are a number of contributing factors. And you put all those factors together, and that's what you're seeing going on. There's no one factor, and that's why it's a little more complicated. In politics, they want to be able to say it's just this. It's not just this. There are a number of factors. But I don't think, it is factually impossible that somebody committed a crime so they could pay their rent. If you can't pay your rent, you cannot be evicted right now.
Yeah. The only intelligent thing he said was the last thing. Everything else he said was crap. But anyway, or at least it's a dodge from the fact that we all know why the crime spike is happening. So I actually gave Cuomo gave him too much credit. So yeah, what he says he doesn't know what AOC says. I'm sure he did know, but he didn't want to criticize her. Of course, because she has a bigger Twitter audience that would crush him, destroy him. All right, roll call next.
It's time for roll call.
Producer Mark, how much would it take if we set up a GoFundMe to have you sing the cow fart song? How much money would it require for you to sing that on air?
it would take a lot of money.
But you do think it is catchy.
No. I mean, it is a little catchy. I mean, come on.
Compared to Baby Shark, which one is catchy?
It's like on a scale of 1 to Baby Shark, which Baby Shark is by far a 10, maybe even a 20. It's like a 6.
I actually realized that Baby Shark singing on radio should be banned by the Geneva Convention because it is a form of psychological warfare. Because if I start singing Baby Shark on this show, you're going to be like, why is he doing that? It is guaranteed that later today or later tonight, at some point, you will have it stuck in your head. There's no way around it. There's nothing you can do. It will stick in your brain like this scum that gathers around the orange scum that gathers around the edge of the shower stall or whatever, right? That stuff. That's what I'm talking about.
Yes. So I actually used to work for my alma mater, being the DJ at basketball games, just playing music. And every year the women's team has What I Want to Be Day or something like that. I think they actually changed it to Kids and Fitness Day. So they had like 10,000 screaming children, elementary school children, and to entertain them, I think Baby Shark was played at least 4 times, maybe 5.
Yeah,
I wanted to shoot myself.
That would work. I remember the instrument of psychological warfare against adults known as Barney the Purple Dinosaur. Because I had to babysit for my younger siblings sometimes, and that was like, if you wanted the kid to just be quiet, you would put on Barney the Purple Dinosaur. Does he still exist?
I'm sure he does.
It's
He was
like,
so
oh,
popular.
hi, kids, I'm Barney the Purple Dinosaur. Caring means sharing. And you just...
Listen, I was obsessed with Barney as a child.
Oh, so you knew about Barney.
Of course I did.
Yeah, you're of the age. That's right. You're like
I am.
my siblings' age, or my youngest one. So, yeah, that's right. You would have been... through
I
the
was like
Barney.
right around Barney, but before Teletubbies. So like I saw the Teletubbies and thought that was weird.
I love you, you love me, we're... I remember, dude, I remember the whole thing. Oh, my gosh. Parents listening to this of a certain age are like, Buck, stop.
I had the stuffed animals and everything.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I remember when I was a kid, it was Cabbage Patch Kids were just the rage, man. Everyone loved Cabbage Patch Kids. That was the thing. That was really... and also, Cabbage Patch Kids, then you got a little older and a little cooler. It was all about Thundercats, which were human beings kind of mixed with a cat that were wearing, like, you know, G-strings in these cartoons. The whole thing made no sense. But anyway, some of you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I have no idea what you're talking about.
You know, I'm just saying.
Sounds
You
like
don't know what the
something you find
Thundercats
on the
cartoon
internet
is?
after a night of drinking.
The Thundercats was Thundercats. It was pretty cool. I was a big G.I. Joe guy, though. That was my favorite.
That's not surprising.
Yeah, of course. All right, Facebook.com/Buck Sexton or tbuck@iheartmedia.com if you want to email us. And remember, tomorrow's Friday, or Producer Mark's favorite day, because it is the day that we get to play all your voicemails. 844-900-2825. 844-900-BUCK. And Producer Mark loves it when you call in and tell him that he's a grouchy snuggle bear. He likes that in the voicemail, so you can always say that to him.
Grouchy Snuggle Bear. That's a new one.
Yeah. We're just trying to see. Someone's going to call it and say it. You're going to have to listen to it. So there we go. 844-900-2825. 844-900-BUCK. That is the number. Please light us up with some wonderful voicemails. We love hearing from you guys. We'll play them tomorrow. That's always fun. All right. Scott, Buck, I download every podcast you offer. However, I haven't heard your Kaiser Wilhelm impersonation in a while. It's one of my favorites. Thank you, Scott from Orange County, California. Achtung! Well, Scott, now you've heard the Kaiser. Kaiser Wilhelm initially started as a representation of the person that Bill de Blasio would have had to be if he were, in fact, called his original name, which was Warren Wilhelm. Ja, guten Tag. So Warren Wilhelm, born in Massachusetts, the state in northeastern United States, yeah, he became Billy de Blasio because he wanted to run for the office. 9. That's what happened. So he's the Kaiser. And now the Kaiser de Blasio is saying, you cannot eat the food, you cannot go out the side, it is all I want you to do all the time. And we all have to say, okay, Kaiser Wilhelm, okay, please don't ruin the city any more than you've already ruined it. So that's
I
where
never
we are.
thought one of your ridiculous voices would actually teach me something.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
You didn't know that was his name? Yeah.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah. Warren Wilhelm. Think about that. It's a little bit tougher to get union guys be like, hey, who you voting for today? I'm going for this guy, Warren Wilhelm. He wears like a pith helmet, you know? Served his time in the trenches. You know, it's like, I don't know. Different kind of deal.
I've never heard of a politician having a stage name. Interesting.
Oh, and a lot of politicians have changed their names.
Huh.
Look, I think John Kerry's name before, I think his family name was originally Cohn, and then it was changed to Kerry. Barack Obama went by the name as an adult, Barry Obama, and even at one point, I believe, Barry Soetoro, when he was younger. But definitely Barry. Producer Nick, he's got something for us here. Am I saying something that's incorrect?
Bill Clinton is William, yeah.
William Blythe. You know, I knew that, but I had totally forgotten that one. Yeah, these guys they change their names. Change their names all the time. Trying to think who else where it was a big. There's definitely one that I'm forgetting that people are going to yell at me later that I'm forgetting. But yeah, a lot of politicians have changed their names, and that's just part of it, man. It's all branding. All right, Adam, Buck, you stumbled upon a great idea. Each frequent guest needs an 80s action hero intro or maybe a wrestling intro. Cage match to see who gets the Undertaker's intro. Shields high. Producer Mark, did I stumble onto that idea?
I think we were talking. You were talking about Randy Savage yesterday about a Randy. that wrote in for roll call, yeah.
Step into a Slim Jim. Remember that?
But realistically, wouldn't if there was a cage match between our guests, Jesse Kelly would win.
He's the
like
he's the tallest.
7'5". Yeah,
He's the tallest. I don't know. There'd be some tough conservative matchups. Bongino's a big guy and does grappling training, but you get Seb Gorka in there. Dr. G is like the Mountain from Game of Thrones. He is so much bigger than you realize from seeing him on TV and stuff. Dr. G has hands the size of oven mitts, I'm telling you. So, the steel cage match of conservative media personalities, you'd have some interesting matchups for sure. Jesse Kelly is like 6'9", but he's a slender fellow because he does keto, of course. So, as he likes to show everybody, his version of keto
he could still be muscular.
Is a lot of but it's a lot of Philly cheesesteaks. That's his keto. Yeah, he's one of those people that eats like a human hippopotamus or something and never gains a pound. Good job, Jesse Kelly.
I wish I could do that.
Yeah, producer Mark and Buck here are like, no more mac and cheese. Time to start eating salads. Another time, another day. I'll start my fitness routine soon. Let's see, Kyle. Buck, I live in California and consult the state of the state based on a recent neighborhood walk. Bum camps everywhere. Human fecal matter on the sidewalk near my house. And someone wearing a face mask outdoors, but pulling it down to take a hit on his joint. Yeah, of course. But I can't go to a restaurant or have a drink at a bar because those are public health risks. I'm moving out of state soon and won't miss it. It's a beautiful place to live, made miserable by many of the people who live here and definitely by those who govern. Well, Kyle, I believe that for sure. Yeah, man, it's California is an amazing state. I wish the conservatives had come up with a plan well, it used to be Republican. People forget this. I mean, Ronald Reagan was the governor of California. California used to be consistently, in election after election, used to go for the GOP. And it wasn't really until the 90s and the huge waves of predominantly illegal immigration that the state started to flip. And now it's just it's a Democrat ultra stronghold. I mean, it's not even close. And it's just a shame because Republicans, we need one. Look, we've got Texas, but they're trying to take Texas. We really need one large population blue state to go our way. I mean, I think the answer is Florida. Producer Mark will be happy to hear that. We need 500,000, just red as can be Republicans from states that are forever lost, New York and California, to just flood down to Florida, register, and vote. That's the real strategy. And I'm serious. We should do this. Florida's great. No state income taxes. Obviously, fantastic weather. A lot of upside there. A lot of upside. Close to the Caribbean.
Let's not make the housing market go up before we move.
That's a good point. Don't do this until producer Mark and I have moved first, everybody.
Yeah. Let us find houses first, then you can go.
Indeed. All right. Zach. Buck, I thought you'd find this funny. I am door dashing for some extra cash, and I always listen to your show while I do it. Anyways, on one order, I went into a restaurant without a mask, and the manager yelled at me for not wearing one. My response was, do you expect your patrons to eat with their masks on too? I'm in the store for 5 seconds to pick up an order. He had no response, explains lockdown libs perfectly, as always. Shields high. Well, Zach, good for you, man. Standing your ground. You're 100% right. What kind of dumbassery is that? You go in there for 5 seconds. This is like when I walk through my lobby of my very tall apartment building in New York, which is full of people. I walk through the lobby for 5 seconds. And then outside, I don't have to wear a mask. I'm going to put a mask on for a 5-second walk? Please. I want to tell these lockdown libs, go blankety blanking blank your blank. Blank blank. Family show, so I got to keep it clean. Patrick, Buck, PS4 suggestion. The Last of Us 2, amazing story, post-pandemic. Look for the similarities written into this story well before any COVID. Great game, better story. Okay, Patrick, thank you. Producer Mark, you know what he's talking about?
Yeah, I've heard of the game. It's a very, very popular game.
I mean, but have you ever played it?
No. Remember, I play sports games.
I will tell you, the Snow Princess and I at dinner recently, I brought up the possibility, specifically brought to my attention by both my two fantastic, patriotic, red meat-eating brothers, that we were all going to, that I was going to get PS4 so we could all play Call of Duty together. And also Jesse Kelly has been saying that he wants me to do this so that we can play on the same team and or try to kill each other playing against each other in Call of Duty and then talk smack over headsets, which obviously would be a lot of fun. And I brought this up to Snow Princess, and then she went on this whole thing about, you have a lot of things that you're trying to do and accomplish, like get back into shape and like a Malta podcast and 100 other things. Maybe setting up an addictive entertainment machine in your own home, as opposed to at least only at your brother's place, that will take hours and hours out of your life. Maybe that's not what Team Buck really wants you to be doing right now. She didn't say it in quite that way, but that was pretty much the message. And I got to say, a message was received on that one for now. I was like, yeah, it's just going to make things harder if I get one. You don't have one, right, Producer Mark?
Of course I do. What do you think I do all day when I'm not working?
You have a PS4? How did I not know this?
Yeah. I'm alone all week.
Yeah, because I know Mrs. Mark is working over at the working at her job.
Yeah.
What's your favorite game?
I usually rotate throughout the sports games. Right now I'm playing NHL. I'll play the NBA game, Madden.
Yeah. See, I'm going to break down. It's so much fun. I'm going to break down and probably go. Just don't tell the Snow Princess. I'm going to have to hide it from her somehow. I'm going to tell her.
Put it in a cabinet.
I'm going to tell her it's like part of my radio gear or something, and hope that, I'm going to have to like put a different cover on it. Or I'm going to have to figure out something. Yeah, exactly. I'm going to have to keep it with my radio gear and be like, don't touch that. Whenever anyone goes near my radio stuff, I'm like, don't touch that. So I'll have to just do that and hope that she'll figure it out real fast, though. So that's not good. Anyway, I'll think of something. I think that might have to happen. Producer Nick, do you have a Producer Nick? Put me on the text here. Do you have a PS4? He's got kids, man. That means that's probably tough.
He's more likely to have a Nintendo Switch because those are.
He does not have one.
Kids
says,
like
nope,
the Nintendo
no
games.
This is the thing, man. Like, if I'm at some point, I'm just gonna be like, yeah, I'm done with trying to save the country, and I'm just gonna find a nice, warm place with a view of some water in Florida, and just play PS4 all day and cook and read books and be left alone. That's
yeah. We'll have a nice outdoor setup, maybe on a projector next to a pool.
There we go.
And a smoker outside somewhere as well.
I'm into it.
Perfect.
More roll call, everybody. Remember to go to bucksexton.com. I'm going to be posting a week in review story there where I just kind of tell you what I think is biggest takeaways from the week. So we'll have and it'll be an editorial that's going up tomorrow. So please go to bucksexton.com. And good things there. Easy to listen to the podcast there now too. We have a new Producer Mark. Have you seen this? We have a new button when you go to bucksexton.com. You open the page. And there's a plug and play. You just press play. Wait, is it up yet, or did I get ahead of us? I might be ahead of things here. Darn it! It's going to be there soon.
I mean, there's always a place right on the homepage.
No, there's an autoplay now that's going to be. All you have to do is press play on the big. Anyway, it's gonna.
You really should make sure these things are enacted before you say them on the radio.
It's going to be soon, though. It's going to be soon, folks. Trust me. All right, Dan. Buck, while I appreciate that you reference the Asian American experience as a counter to the BLM leftist narrative, as an Asian American from the Garden State, New Jersey, I should point out that it's not that simple. You and I are around the same age, yet the messages we received growing up were quite different. Every step of the way, I was told I had to be better, much better. As it turns out, that message was correct. The Harvard lawsuit from rejected Asian applicants shows it. Simply put, I utterly destroyed every standardized test I ever took, and you'd be astonished at the colleges that didn't accept me. And just for good measure, it did not matter that I was all league on my track team. Well, damn it, thanks for writing in. And what you're saying is true, and I know it's true. And I went to a scholarship private high school in New York where everyone goes for free, and the Asian students in my class were all very tense about their college application experience because they knew that even with 1,600 boards and a straight A average, they were going to get into a great school, but they might not get into Harvard. So, and I knew people like that. But yeah, no, you're correct on that, Dan. So thank you for writing in and bringing that to our attention. Thanks for listening to the show. Team, that's going to be it for today. Tomorrow we're going to have a great show, a lot of fun. Make sure you tune in. Pass the buck. Please get a friend. Please. Get a friend to listen to the podcast of the Buck Sexton Show this week. Until next time, shields high.